Hey guys, Marslinkin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we have the LR Super Baby 2 EZA on global now. He's here to save GT bosses, so we're going to check him out here. He's full level 10 links. I do remember the feedback from when he came out on JP being that he was actually quite good. He's on a couple of other 200% teams that could be interesting to check him out on as well. But we are going to start him off, of course, on the GT bosses team. So post EZA, he greatly raises defense on his 12 key super, colossal damage and lowers attack. He greatly raises attack and defense on his 18 key super, mega colossal damage and lowers attack and defense. So he's got good super attack effects. If he gets additional, then obviously he's greatly raising his defense again, which is good. And then in terms of his passive, key plus 6, attack and defense 150. Then he gets an additional 6 key, attack and defense 100%, and chance to crit 40% when there's a pure Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan category enemy. This is kind of one of the, I guess, downsides you would say of like every baby unit, is they always get these pure or hybrid Saiyan buffs, but then there's not many events in the game where you're going to take on those enemies. We'll probably put at the end of this video, we're starting him off in the red zone cell, because it's where I like to do initial showcases. It's a decent long event. But he's not going to be fighting a pure or hybrid Saiyan enemy. And then we'll jump into a different event to sort of check him out with this extra buff, because it's a good bit of extra attack and defense there, as well as the crit chance. Then he also gets an additional attack and defense 100%, 40% crit chance if HP is 40% or more when performing a super. And then you get 150% defense and a high chance to dodge if you're at 40% or less when he performs a super. Now, this is quite good because it's on super. So if you take a massive hit at the start of the turn and lose like 90% of your health, then when he attacks, he gets the secondary buff, so he gets extra defense and dodge chance, which ideally, if you've just taken a massive hit, that's what you want, right? You want to survive the turn and then have the chance to like regroup on the next turn, potentially heal if you're using items or whatever. So I do think the buff being on super is pretty cool. So yeah, he's getting 150 defense and then dodge, or he's getting 100% attack and defense and crit chance if you're above the HP threshold. So, and that's on super. And then of course he can transform into a giant ape if you're at 40% or less HP. If we do get to see that come up, we'll go through the details. He does get like 2 extra key per orb, because as an LR giant ape, he obviously needs to be getting a ton of key. So we go ahead and do this. Get our full 24 key multiplier here. We have 5 links active: Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses, GT, Shattering the Limit, Legendary Power. He's at 264k defense here. And so remember, he is going to get 100% on super as long as we don't lose any HP. Otherwise, he's getting 150. When I say any HP, obviously we'd have to drop below 40%. So on super, he's going to go up to what? It's going to be like 300 and something. But then he's also greatly raising on super, which is enough for like 130. So he's getting up to around 500k if he does an additional, which is okay, but it's not anything super crazy. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. Shout out to Cheese for the follow. Pepsi-chan, how's it going? But yeah, let's see. Omega's obviously going to tank fine here. Omega needs his time to build up, but he can be in slot 1. He's our 200% GT bosses lead. But let's see what we get from Baby. We do have attack support from the STR free-to-play Rildo on this turn as well. So we'll be getting a little bit of extra attack. And we got the stun. Wow, 15.5. Damn, that is... that's a lot. We didn't get the crit low, sadly. Because, yeah, I built mine for full additional, because he does get so many ways to get crit in his hidden potential. So... there you go, Cheese, with the hydrate option on Twitch. Right. So we'll do... I don't want to use up all of those orbs, because I kind of want them for... oh, well, he's stunned anyway, so it doesn't even matter. We'll do that, do that, do that. But yeah, that's a pretty good attack stat, considering, again, we're not fighting a pure Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan, which, if we are, he gets another 100% attack and defense, as well as another 40% crit chance. So That is definitely very good. I mean, this is the big thing, right? We talked about this when Omega came out and we did the showcase for Omega, and we're talking about GT bosses. Like, Omega's kind of like the only good unit on the team until now that Baby has his EZA. But the rest of the team, still pretty wonky. But, yeah, Baby seems like he could be pretty good. So now we've got... He only shares 3 links with Omega. Big Bad Bosses, GT, and Legendary Power. So with these guys, he's obviously only sharing GT and Big Bad Bosses. What's the support they give? Is it 30%? Yeah, 30% attack and defense. So he's at 257 again here. Less links active this time, though, sadly. So let's go ahead and do this. We haven't been critting a lot against this cell, so he's got a ton of HP left. Yeah, we're not going to get a chance to see the Great Ape transformation, at least this early. I think we'll probably get a good opportunity when we get to the physical big beefy cell, because he will always super in slot 1. So I can potentially, that presents us with an opportunity to get someone to take some big damage. But he's still got 13.2. That's without having like Thirst for Conquest and stuff active. So that's not bad. No crit though. This is the problem. So he only has a 40% crit chance when we're above the HP threshold, but that's twice we've missed out on the crit, which is a little bit unfortunate, considering I built in full additional and he hasn't additional supered either time. Yeah, Red Zone Broly is a pure Saiyan. The problem is when it comes to these certain enemy buffs, we talk about this a lot with these units when they come out, especially extreme units, where they're getting these buffs against super type enemies, is there are certain events in the game where you obviously could run them to get those buffs. But the question sort of becomes, but why would you run that event? Now, Broly, that is an event that they do or have occasionally added missions for. So if they added like a GT bosses mission to Red Zone Broly, Baby would be like a must-run unit, right? Which, I mean, he kind of is on GT bosses in general. But it's like, you know, the anniversary event, the... you know, Vegito Blue, the Sword of Hope Trunks. It's like if you've beaten those events once already, until they start adding missions, there's no real reason for you to do them again. Now, obviously, for like JP and for Global, it's going to be a while away for us, but the anniversary is coming up soon. I'm sure they're going to add a new stage to that anniversary event and stuff like that. So there'll be some stages, like we will see stages come out in the future where it'll be worth running him potentially. But it's just a shame when they give these these extreme class units all these buffs against like super type enemies, but then they don't release content with super type enemies, which is a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, we got our good old global exclusive Limit Breaker second form cell here. We got our extra defensive link. I should have checked his start of turn defense, but to be fair, I think this Wildo gives the same amount of support as the Shadow Dragon. So we're still always looking at around 260 start of turn defense for Baby. So I mean, against AoEs, he's potentially not going to be particularly great, right? Which unfortunately is a big issue with a lot of these EZAs and stuff that we've seen recently, like Rose and stuff like that, where like he's getting some good numbers when he supers, his defense is going up to a pretty decent amount. Like he double digit tanked that super from second form cell. Obviously second form cell is not the craziest, even with his limit breaker buff on global, which of course is a meme, it's not actually a buff. Still have no idea how they managed to give him a visual like glitch buff somehow. The full dragon rotation, let's go. Omega 7 mil. There's 2 dev teams. Yeah, that's the joke about the old Talon meme, right? Team A and Team B. Every time something good happens, it's Team A, and then when something bad happens, it was just Team B. They were given the project, and they just phoned it in. But yeah, I mean, GT bosses definitely needs a lot more help, but The problem, as we've discussed already when talking about like the upcoming super bosses and stuff, is with GT bosses and movie bosses, they really did like hinder the category massively by making it only the final boss of like the arcs. Because then, like, you know, for Baby, if we got a Dokkan Fest Baby, but we got these like side banner units like the Tuffle Possessed, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Bulla, the free-to-play ones could EZA, all that kind of stuff. Those would all be cool for Baby's team, depending what his leader skill was. But they wouldn't be on GT bosses, because they're not the bosses of, like, the arcs, which is just really unfortunate for these teams. Even certain characters coming out, their potential side banner units and stuff wouldn't actually be a buff for GT bosses, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, Baby hitting pretty reasonably. I don't think there's not really much we can see more for Baby. We want to start taking some damage, though, which the AGL cell should be able to dish out some damage to us here, hopefully. Although we've got to be careful, because we're going to get the Dokkan attack soon as well, if I'm not too careful. We'll get no same type orbs here. Alright, slot 1 super. I mean, Omega has damage reduction, but yeah, he'll take some damage. The problem is we need to drop below 40% to get the giant ape transformation. So in some of the easier stages, that's going to be quite difficult. Because, yeah, no one else is going to take damage from normals. The real dough at the end could take some damage from a super, potentially. But that's the thing. Baby's not getting any different buffs or anything like that unless you're literally at 40%. The first time you're at 40%, if it's start of turn, obviously he's going to transform into a giant ape. And then for his passive, for the dodge and extra defense, it's 40%. But that's, again, that is on super, so that could happen mid-turn. And if you start the turn at 40% or less, you can always heal with orbs and stuff like that, so that then when he supers, you're above 40%, and then he gets the extra attack instead. Yeah, see, we're still slightly too high. Yeah, I shouldn't really put him in slot 1. Although I'm not going to be... Can I even avoid getting the Dokkan attack here? I don't know. I can, but then I can't avoid it next turn, so... Omega finally getting up to some good attack stats here, however many turns into the event it is. Because, yeah, the other problem with GT bosses, we were talking about some of the events like the, you know, like the Divine Wrath and Mortal Will, Trunks and stuff like that. But the problem is, like, the rest of the GT bosses team would just get destroyed by that Trunks. So, like, Baby would look good in that event, but the rest of the team would not. So it'd be kind of awkward. Okay, so... What are you up to now, defense-wise? 310. Would you live a super from this cell in slot 1? I actually don't know. If we die, we'll just move on to a different event. Because we were going to get the Dokkan attack here anyway. I'll grab some same type orbs, because he is going to hit quite hard in slot 1, I think. Even with Omega's damage reduction. But hopefully, this does enough damage to us that we don't die. But then we can get the... Oh, that was actually less than I thought. Oh well, we're getting the Dokkan attack now anyway, so I suppose it doesn't matter.
Let's go.
Yeah, Bulma in the yellow coin shop. For anyone who doesn't know, if you're watching this video and you still haven't seen it, LR Bulma is now available in the yellow coin shop. Definitely worth getting with yellow coins. Still one of the best units in the game. So, but yeah, unfortunately, with how long it took us to get to this point, we're obviously not going to get the transformation or anything here. So we'll go ahead and jump into a different event here, I think. Because, yeah, of course, even with the minor, like, not hitting the nodes or anything, we got the full heal from the Dokkan attack, so... I was going to say we'll see one last attack stat from Baby, but now that Omega's actually built up here, he might just kill him. Okay, he just about killed him. Right, let's jump into an event against a pure Hybrid Saiyan and see what our boy is looking like here. Okay, so we're going up against Vegito Blue here in the Divine Wrath and Mortal Will stage, because you can lower his attack, and obviously Baby has type advantage. And because he is the awakening, like the transformation of the Blue Goku and Vegeta, even though he is starting off as Vegito, as far as the game files are concerned, his card is on the Pure Saiyans category, right? Because he is that Vegito, that even though he didn't transform in the event, it counts as a Pure Saiyan enemy. So, as you can see, Baby starts the turn at 350k defense, because we are now getting this first part of the buff here. Ki +6, attack and defense 100%, and chance of performing a crit 40% when there is a Pure Saiyan or Hybrid Saiyan enemy. So then remember, on Super, he's going to get 100% attack and defense and 40% crit chance, as long as we don't lose 60% of our HP in slot 1. Which, I mean, I guess technically could happen. But Omega's got type advantage and the damage reduction, so I think we should be okay. I'm unironically worried about these guys being fraudulent in slot 3, because even though, like, we're going to lower his attack twice, but that unit sucks, so I wouldn't be surprised if they actually do let us down here, but we'll see. We're kind of here to just see Baby's numbers anyway, so we'll see what happens, but hopefully Omega should be alright in slot 1 here. Okay, cool. So Omega's going to attack and lower attack. But yeah, Baby put up, what, it was like 15 mil, I think was the highest turn we saw against the non-Pure Saiyan enemy. 18 million, okay. And this, we got a crit, right? It's got 80% crit chance. Yeah, there you go. And we get the additional. There we go. 10 mil. Nice. So he lowers his attack again. Now he's going to get supered, though. So how much is this going to do? Because Vegito does hit pretty hard, but Baby has very high defense currently. Oh, let's go. Double-digit damage. Nice. Okay, that's pretty cool. Vegito can super twice, though. So hopefully he doesn't do that, because I bet these guys are still taking damage from the normal, right? Because they are bad. They lower attack as well. They still take 87k. Oh, they're so bad. No! Vegito, no! Alright, well. I mean, we got to see Baby. There you go. Baby clearly good in this stage, but the rest of the team, not so much. 876,000. We could at least... oh, Baby's in slot 7. Can we survive here? There's supposed to be a Baby showcase, so I don't want it to turn into repeatedly dying against Vegito with the GT Bosses team, but... But then, to be fair, that is what the GT Bosses team does, so... Pretty accurate representation of... what goes on with the GT Bosses team over here. I'm going to get a lot of attack lowering in here, though. We'll see. Crazy to think Sin is just a better Nova and Ice, and he came out a year before they did. Yeah. Yeah, the GT Bosses team is in desperate need of some more help. LR Omega's release would have been the perfect opportunity for them to do a free-to-play, like with the Ginyu Force and Team Bardock, doing like a free-to-play Shadow Dragons team. And of course, Omega being a Carnival LR means that he didn't get any side banning units, which is a little bit of a shame. Because, yeah, they could have given him the Ginyu treatment, give him 2 side banning units, make them both Shadow Dragons so that they're on GT Bosses, and then, you know, because that's what we need to see. Like, if we get a Dokkan Fest Baby, his side banning unit really needs to be another version of Baby, otherwise his side banning unit's not going to be on GT Bosses. So, that would be really cool, though. We need a Dokkan Fest Super Baby 2, like, not brackets Grey Ape, right, so he has a different name. And then make the side banner unit like Super Baby 1, or just Baby Vegeta, potentially. Do you lower attack as well? You do. I mean, we do have the potential here to actually be able to live. I'm going to grab some same type orbs, though, because we are going to take some damage, but... Can we live here and actually get the baby transformation or something. I want to see Giant Ape, or at least, like, you know, 40% less or below, sorry, on Super. Just so we can see that different buff. Because we're going to see that in some of the harder content, potentially. But we kind of want to see it in the actual, you know, event where we're fighting against the Pure Saiyan. Although I think now that he's been attack lowered so much, we get into this awkward position where if he super attacks like this Rildo, even with all the attack lowering, we'd probably still die rather than just dropping below that HP threshold. I'm not really sure. He hasn't super attacked yet, so surely he's super attacking this guy, right? No. So of course now that we want him to drop a bunch of supers on us, he's not going to, apparently. Alright, well, we'll do this. Maybe Omega will get supered in slot 1, but I probably won't do that much. Alright, let's see. At least if we drop below 40%, we'll see the buff with the dodge. Although, of course, it'll buff his defense, which we then won't see on screen. But yeah, 132 is just not enough. So yeah, this is the problem. Like, the harder events like Fusions of Masu and stuff like that, we could probably see him drop below 40%. Because what would be interesting is, against the AoEs, he would potentially take a lot of damage from the AoE. And the Zamasu does only AoE once. So in the Omega event, it would be interesting, because Baby would potentially take a lot of damage from the first AoE. But then, a second AoE, if he's then dropped below 40%, he then has the dodge chance. So he could potentially dodge a follow-up AoE. But there you go. I mean, against a Pure Saiyan enemy, he's dropping 18 million attack stat. His defense goes up to being about 600k, which means he's tanking like all normals. But yeah, he's definitely a solid hard hitter for the GT Bosses team. But GT Bosses team needs a lot of work still. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. We will take him up against Omega and Fusions of Masu just to see how we get on. But yeah, I definitely think against AoE enemies, he's obviously not going to be super good because, you know, he gets a lot of that defense on super. But, I mean, unironically, because I think we maybe got a bit lucky earlier on with some of the attack placements, but, like, we are actually going to win this run against Vegito, which is, I mean, I guess to be fair, as hard as he hits, like, you can attack lower him, which is the main reason why this team is going to be able to win, because so many of the units on this team lower attack. But because yeah, Omega up to 11.4 now. But yeah, everyone, like almost every unit on the team, in fact I think it might actually be every unit, is just lowering his attack. So even when he supers now, he's really not doing that much damage to us. Sin getting all of his orbs, like the tech Sin, he can still look pretty good. But anyway, that's going to be it for the Baby Showcase. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. If you've tried him out yet, if you EZA'd him, let me know your thoughts. And yeah, we'll take him into some other content and see how he gets on. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.